I was fortunate enough during the first time I tried DMT to have a fairly large quantity, so I was able to try and break through several times before it actually took. The third time I smoked DMT, after hitting it a few times at various other points in the night, I broke through, but not before I threw up. Luckily, I made it to the toilet. Now, I will say that I never recall anyone I've ever tripped DMT with throwing up, although it is a common affliction for many drinkers of ayahuasca. I've not puked since on DMT and have between 30 and 50 trips under my belt. When I realized I was going to puke after hitting the pipe the third time, caramelizing the DMT while heating up the air around the DMT to make it combust without burning it all up, I ran to the bathroom and was encompassed within the space between the space. It was much more three-dimensional or maybe four-dimensional than mushrooms ever were for me. There were glimmers of color, but nothing as vibrant as when my eyes were closed. I quickly returned to my seat on the beanbag chair. I closed my eyes and the kaleidoscopic tunnel visions of glorious colors ensued. The colors flew past me at the speed of light. What I found particularly odd is that I saw an orange and yellow cross-like shape at one point and a fleur-de-lis. My only connection to the fleur-de-lis at this time was the New Orleans Saints. I had really no religious background of which to speak of before I had my DMT experiences. Then slowly, trip by trip, the pieces all started to fit together, and my atheism flew out the window. When you trip DMT and do not break through, for me, after I rushed through the tunnel of rotating and interlocking metallic symbol-bearing shields, you come up to a three-dimensional wall of light. It was so definite, and it can best be described as a gigantic pool fence around a snooty neighbor's yard. But this pool fence is made of ever-changing light that shines and glimmers like the pale yellow that veiled the room when my eyes were open and the trip just began. You could get right up close to the wall, but you could not permeate it. It was like seeing the space between the space, but not being able to experience it on psilocybin. It's kind of a cruel joke. As my soul moved closer and closer to the shimmering wall, I felt as though I could see through the wall, like cellophane. And what do you know, but something else was looking back at me. The light beams are by far the most difficult thing of hyperspace to explain in terrestrial terms. They exist because of the way light diffracts around them. The same reason we all exist here on Earth and can vouch for one another's existence. We can see them, we can hear them, we can feel them. All of these senses are operable in hyperspace. I would go as far to say as they are hyper-operable. That is, they work in ways that you or I were previously unaware of. But these light beams just look back at you with love and inviting gazes from the other side of the shimmering wall. At least that was the feeling that was filling me up at the time. Thinking about that trip and subsequent DMT trips I have had where I did not break through, the shimmering wall sure looks to me what a layman would refer to as the pearly white gates of heaven. Before I continue, I would like to reiterate that before I found the spice of life, I was a full-blown atheist. I only believed in what I could see, what I could touch. The problem with DMT is that it showed me something that I was able to perceive in this dimension with nearly all of my senses, and maybe a couple extra. It was something I have profound memories of and experiences that have altered my perception of reality forever. I opened Pandora's box. I found it in a place that hummed and buzzed and lives in the brains of everyone watching this video, however few that is. It's located in the exact center of the brain and secretes DMT at night. Eastern religions and Descartes referred to the pineal gland as the seat of your soul. It is commonly referred to as your third eye, and in fact in reptiles it literally is a third eye, equipped with cornea and retina. Just add the mascara and that's one fine crocodile bitch. Of course, what I am speaking of is the pineal gland, The more I learn about the pineal gland, the more I treasure it, and the more curious I become of its origins and true functionality. It has certainly made me question everything I thought I knew, but what it really opened my eyes to was, what do we really know? Do we know what we hear, what we smell, what we feel, what we touch? I'm no longer surprised by anything. I don't know what's around the corner, and quite frankly, I don't care to know. But I know that I'm going to tackle it with everything I've got, and if I miss, I'm going to get back up and try again. Until next time, Samudbodha.